But you, as a person, as a man, and a lot of these rappers ain't real men to speak about, how they feel. A lot of rappers feel like me, but they call me. They ain't these bowling ball nuts.
Mm-hmm.
They call me Boosie, man. I'm so glad you saying, they call me. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm doing what a lot of people in the world, see as positive, even though social media make it look as negative. You got a whole nother generation who older than us. 40s and 50s who absolutely love what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely feel I'm the last one left. You got OG rappers call me, I ain't gonna say no name, but like Boosie, nigga, you the last one left. You know what I'm saying? And realness is everything to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not pinpointed. I'm not a puppet. I can't feel a certain way.
What it is. I've been thinking about the conversation that Lil Boosie had on the Breakfast Club. I don't know why that interview keeps popping up. Like, I've listened to it like twice. Not, like I had it playing and YouTube randomly playing and then it popped up. It just keep coming up. But I did want to talk about just that whole process, that whole situation. Like, I've said for long, it's like during the Trump years, whatever, like a lot of these rappers are idiots and should shut up about politics and be quiet and go sit somewhere. And as you see, a lot of them that were extra, Trump derangement syndrome, they had their own troubles. Snoop with Gayle and Snoop with other issues, and some of these rappers that have, were vocal heavily about Donald Trump. Like, y'all not in a position to speak against him because y'all livelihoods and what you represent is similar to him. Like, not even to get into all the lyrics and the rhymes that use his name and how he was aspirational to a lot of rappers in hip hop, especially those in New York. At one point in time, like, he's been friends and shake hands and kicked it with all of them motherfuckers, even Al Sharpton and the Rainbow Coalition and all that nonsense. But Lil Boosie goes to the Breakfast Club to get interrogated about the LBGT alphabet stuff. You see the flag behind him upside down. And ironically, is that they got it right behind him. Surprised they don't have the dolls in the back being all fruity again, like they usually be having back there. But he goes over to the Breakfast Club, and how do you process this though, right? We know Hollywood is weird. We know that the industry is weird. And there's talking points and things you have to co-sign, at least publicly. You can have your own things in the behind doors and whatnot. And it's getting even worse, the censorship and the dictating of ideas that you have to have or whatever. But how unfortunate is it that Lil Boosie, who is a hypocrite, by all means, although we understand the difference between, like, him like girls liking girls and whatnot, and how we as a society have said that, yeah, we're not trying to see two dudes kiss, but two girls, we don't feel a way about that, right? As a society, we've said that, right? With women, they haven't said that if you try, you buy, you gay. With men, if you try, if you buy, nigga, you gay, right? That's something we've done as a society. It's not the same. People don't freak out, flip out when they see two chicks kissing on TV, or put it this way, two feminine women kissing on TV. But in that situation, you could say he's a hypocrite because he doesn't poop on that. What he said was understandable, though. He was responding to something Lil Nas X said about, what he would do at the awards or whatever. And Lil Nas X is a troll, and I might do a video on what I think about his whole come up and rise to what he's doing. I think that Lil Nas X did the same thing that a lot of entertainers did, like what Post Malone did to black folks. What I'm not a rapper, I'm this now. I could come do this. He did what Pink did. Remember when Pink came out? She came out with the R&B with the Terror Squad. Some of y'all with the One Draw Rule Lover thought she was black, some kind of black in her. Then she's like, nope, I'm not doing this R&B shit. I can make more money doing this weird punk rock music. I think Lil Nas did the same thing, but not to get into that video yet. It's unfortunate that Lil Boosie is one of the few voices of black men, heterosexual, who can't come out and stand on his ground and say what he has to say. We can look at him as being a hypocrite. We can look at him as being a person who's not all that articulate. But it's unfortunate that he is one of those sole voices that stand on his ground, and he's in a position financially where he's okay to take an L and a loss. In the interview, he said, just because you gave me $300 for a deal don't mean I'm going to be quiet about how I feel about certain issues. Not too many people are going to say that. Remember when 50 Cent's bitch ass came out talking about I'm not voting for Biden because of his tax plan, and all it took was the black celebrity man's kryptonite, an old, decrepit, ugly white woman, Tennessee Heller, to say, "Don't you do that, 50? I might get back with you." And he recants his statement. He was trolling from the get-go. God, I don't take him serious, but nonetheless, that's all it took was the white woman to come up there and tell 50 to chill, and he did. Ebro said he wanted to be white. Jamel Hill said he wanted to be white. A black man trying to participate in this capitalist system, and he had, with all types of resources and money, and he had to capitulate and bitch out and bow down like everybody else does. If white dudes get stepped down from their companies, and white dudes like the dude from Mozilla had to step down because he donated money to an organization that was pro-family, pro-marriage, not pro-alphabet people stuff, he had to step down from his own company. That happens often. If white boys are getting that treatment, could you imagine if you had a patriarchal, traditional family structure, capitalist black man who's unapologetic and stood up in this world? They would demolish him. He would not exist. It is mind-boggling the amount of black men, celebrity, who just have to kowtow and bow down. And that gives me greater understand why so many people love the Minister Farrakhan, although I have the reservations around the death of Malcolm X. I don't care how many times they send the little light-skinned dude up to say that it wasn't us. You were in cahoots. The nation was not, their hands were not clean. That's just the way I feel. But I understand that. He is the most freest black man in America, to where he'll say what the fudge he means and stand on that ground. To the point where you've even seen niggercrats like Angela Rye and others try to go against him and do what the white liberal tell them to do. But it is crazy watching this interview. It's a 3 hour, an hour some change interview of them basically trying to get him to concede to the point and not speak his mind and not be free. They want him to shut up about this one particular issue that he won't shut up about. Like one of the comments said, if I said what I said was a person, how many times did Charlamagne the Gay ask this man and he kept bringing up, you tried to put a woman on your 16th son? Is that why you lost your deal? No, he said, no, I lost the deal because I said what I said about Dwayne Wade's son. But Charlamagne kept bringing it up. Mr. Got Away With It kept bringing up, if I'm Boosie and Charlamagne asking me about that situation, wait a minute. Where'd Jessica Reed at, my guy? She was 16 just like my son. Oh, alright. Shout out to Kwame Brown. Haven't heard much of him lately. I think he did get roast for wearing a dress recently. But yeah, like you really go up to the Breakfast Club to get interrogated about some stuff. I remember I did a video years ago on my other channel how they even set Vivica A. Fox up. She was on there one time and talking about something because she was doing some type of stuff to revamp her career that was over, and she was dealing with strippers in Atlanta or whatever, and she was talking about something about them being gay and whatnot, and the line of questioning that Charlamagne asked was like, yo, they setting this chick up. She had to apologize, to try to cancel or whatever. But I'm like, it's crazy that you would put your own people in that position nonetheless, right? Like you know what's going to happen. You know what you're trying to do. It's not even like you just ask the questions. It's like, you know that. It's like you're putting them in a position to fail in that situation. And they did that to Vivica Fox a few years ago when she was on. It's amazing how they interrogated Boosie on his LBG alphabet stuff. They interrogated Michael Blackson over his beef with Kevin Hart and the little thing they had going on, more than they asked questions to them damn politicians that come up on the Breakfast Club. How y'all got more smoke, more energy, more real questions, more, when they give you a bullshit answer, you go right back to it? No, like, you don't do that to them politicians. But you're going to do it to these celebrities and entertainers when it comes to stupid stuff. Right? But yeah, man, it's unfortunate that Boosie is one of the few. Again, he's not all that articulate. We've seen what Ice Cube tried to do with his plan for Black America. We saw all the niggercrats in the media, Joanne Reeds, them birds on Fox Soul, Vivica Fox, and all them other ones. And We saw what happens when you are a traditional, capitalistic black man doing something positive, trying to do the right thing for your community, standing on your ground. Look how many people from within the community will get in your way and tap dance. I ain't even a fan of Nicki Minaj, but what they did to her and what they're doing to her right now with the vaccine stuff, that's crazy. She ain't even say don't take it. She said Drake got it, I'm gonna get it eventually, but I'm not getting it right now because I don't want to be away from my baby. I'm not doing it for some damn Met Gala ball or whatever. And they're in the media, Robert Perillo, who's a nigger cat light, but I respect his commentary, but he up there, finagling it. Joanne Reed did it. I'm sure others have done it. I'm sure Boule de Berg gonna do it too. But I'm like, just watching the censorship, watching the control of the media. Everybody talked about Trump being a fascist and this and that, but I'm like, do y'all see the cahoots of big tech, the cable news networks, and the Democratic Party? Like that connection, and then you got all these former spooks, CIA agent people working at CNN and MSNBC. Yeah, I didn't like when Fox hired the dude Oliver North either back in the day, but they're doing the same thing on CNN and MSNBC. All these unelected bureaucrats, pro-warmonger motherfuckers. You got Democrats damn near tiptoeing to publicly come out for war because when Trump was talking about pulling out, now that Biden pulled out, some of his own party looking at him sideways too, because you realize the richest district in America is Washington D.C. The lobbyists around it, because they all getting them government contracts, defense contracts in there in D.C. It's all a game, it's all a sham. But yeah, that's just the video keep coming up, and I just get triggered, annoyed listening to them ask the same question a million different ways. And this man's telling you how he feels, what he thinks. He's not all that greatly articulate at what he's trying to point out, but he's like, yo, I don't co-sign that. I don't want my kids seeing that. And it's funny too how people do bring up this argument of rap and hip hop, and I agree, we can critique the culture. I don't believe in censorship, whatever. Dolores Tucker was wrong, but we can as a community say, well, we not gonna support that. That doesn't take away from artists. You can just say you don't want to listen to it. You want to give bullets and points and break it down and say this is not something for the community. But rappers had that day in the 90s. They went to Congress. Luke had to go before Congress. Ice NWA had to go, like they had the government after them. Like they went through their pains to get to have that freedom to speak their mind. So LBGT rappers and entertainers will have to do the same thing, just like the female rappers who are coming up doing the same lyrics and the same stuff that they criticize the men for doing. They gonna have to go through it as well. But yeah, man, like watching the capitulation from people in general who don't share certain ideas, and watching how they gang up on you and bully you into having these one viewpoints. Think about what the media did to Randall King, who's trying to do something in Atlanta that the nigger cats ain't doing. He not waiting on politicians to do it. He moving. He not about that. He didn't say anything about not voting, but he's like, I ain't got time for all that. But look what happened when a young black man is taking care of the least of our people, helping them out. But compared to Lil Nas X, Dwayne Wade's son puts on a dress and the first lady calls him talking about he's this amazing guy, kid, girl, whatever you want to pretend to be. But a young black man is taking young boys into his home and nurturing them and teaching them how to hunt fish, how to work with their hands and all that. And our media, all the nigger cats, all the black intelligentsia attack him while celebrating Lil Nas X and celebrating Dwayne Wade's son. That's the world we live in. Yeah, Bill, man. That's my video. What do you think? There was this Tam Bam. It's a podcast that's on Charlamagne's recruiting podcast for iHeart. That's all it is. Black podcast. I had joked around because she gonna say I be trolling with them, but I said something to them, and then she gonna say, "Why you is you gay?" Like typical black woman thing where you gay because you disagreed or you said something against my post. Even though I be joking with them, they're supposed to be a funny podcast, and I told them to chill out and stop. accusing straight black men of being gay because you don't like what they said. For you go up on a Breakfast Club and get interrogated, obviously they know Charlamagne and they know Breakfast Club. And she, I don't even know if she responded. She just probably rewrote my style or whatever. But yeah, man, in the black community, the Breakfast Club is where you gonna go to get interrogated if you say something off-colored or if you have a stand or an idea. And Charlamagne be working hard to defend this. Like, he be going extra hard. Like, every angle will bring up stuff to try to make you look bad in your past, but let's not. Mr. got away with it, got the mitigated gall to do that. Stop it. Again, yes, Boosie's a hypocrite, and I don't like when entertainers and rappers get political light and get asked certain questions, but I can respect if they're doing something that they feel authentically doing. I can respect when they're going against the grain and not just saying what everybody else says. It's easy to talk shit about Trump and Republicans and all that and put that in your song and put that in. That's easy. That's nothing. But to be, oh, I make this much money, Joe Biden's tax plan is going to fudge me up in New York, I'm not voting for that. And then you can't just stand on that. I'm pro Second Amendment 2A, and I don't like the gun control policies that Joe Biden wants to implement. You can't stand on that. Remember what happened to Killer Mike when he went against Joanne Reed, right? And Torgay and Tiffany annoying ass voice cross. They, that's what happens to you heterosexual, traditional structured black men. You get excoriated in the media. He bent over just like all the rest of them did. Shout out to Boosie for holding his ground. Yes, he's a hypocrite. No, he's not the perfect example. No, he didn't articulate himself the best. But damn, direct me to anybody else in that business, in that genre, that can speak that voice and not be affected by it.